Hey everybody, this is Dan here from Dan Has Fun. Hope you're doing well. New series, Dungeon Keeper 2. Well, technically we're on the game screen, the preloaded screen for GOG, but yes. 1999, super old game. Not the easiest thing in the world to record, so I thought we'd start outside of it. And yeah, we're going to hopefully have some fun. We're going to go through all the campaign missions. There's 20-ish. You'll see there's a few more than that. Thought it'd be pretty fun, a bit more nostalgia, given we've run out of Simpsons Hit and Run to do. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know if you played this game before. If you have, what are your feelings about it? If you haven't, well, at least you know now how. Get it from GOG. It's super cheap. Anyway, I'm going to start the game up, and I'll let the opening cinematic play, and then we'll start talking again afterwards. And we'll start talking about what this actually is. Ominous. Yes, I know I have a Stanley Cup, and because I'm left-handed it points out. I'm not trying to flex, I promise. These were considered pretty good graphics at the time, believe it or not. You know Gramps has it covered because he's walking that door. Forgot he had his mirror scyther. Beautiful. Yeah, the plot of this is a little bit sad because we were meant to get Dungeon Keeper 3 to such a degree that if we go into the extras menu, there's even a trailer for it, which got EA'd, I think is the technical term, and the less we talk about Dungeon Keeper Mobile, the better. Yeah. Sad times. Anyway, we're not talking about sad times, we're talking about good times. We're playing Dungeon Keeper 2, a 1999 classic. In my opinion, it's more fun to play than the first one. That is probably a contentious opinion to have. Dungeon Keeper 1 has not aged well visually. This game still looks okay, especially, you know, it's 25 years old, which is scary to think about. Dungeon Keeper 1 is all sprites, and it looks like diarrhea. I'm sorry, it looks terrible. Yeah, it's also very, very fast-paced, and it's a much harder game to talk about while you're playing it. And honestly, this is the first one I played. So a bit like Civilization, I didn't start right at the beginning of the franchise. I mean, I'm born in '92, it'd be pretty tricky for some of these franchises. I played this one first, and it's not a hugely difficult game most of the time, but it is good fun. So let's go through it. It's a fun real-time strategy game. We're in a new campaign, it will reset the board. perfectly fine. So this is the whole area of the game we need to conquer. We're going to do it mission by mission. And let's start, as you would expect, with the first mission.
Smilesville. Welcome, Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm. The local champion, Lord Antonius, holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon, and build up your forces so that you can crush Lord Antonius and wipe the smile from his face.
The voice acting, it gives me Darkest Dungeon vibes. I know it's not quite the same, but it gives me that feel. So yeah, so this is what we're going to see for every mission. Briefing. So this is the Warcry first mission in Smilesville. Main objective, assault and kill Lord Antonius. You'll get some sub-objectives. They don't really matter. So let's jump in and just show you what this looks like.
Behold, your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land.
So if you hadn't worked it out yet...
The goodly Lord Antonius.
Sorry, Antonius.
It is he who holds the precious portal gem, but only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize.
I look forward to interrupting the narrator constantly throughout this entire playthrough. I'm sure it'll happen a lot.
Lair.
Enjoy it, and if you do, I appreciate it. So let's try again. He's going to keep talking, but yeah, RTS, regular camera movement.
There's money to be made. Click on the flashing seam of gold. Your imps will dig out the area you designate. Well done. And now your faithful servant imps will carry back your gold to Dungeon Heart. Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves. A start indeed, but more gold is required.
He'll stop talking, I promise.
12,000 units should be mined.
You done now? Thanks. Alright. He's not usually this talkative, it's because it's the first mission. It's a tutorial. The first few missions in this game hold your hand a little bit.
Red flowers float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
Hey buddy, I'd like to talk about this game if that's alright. So yeah, so real-time strategy game, again, relatively modestly paced, especially compared to some of the stuff that goes on, you know, in the modern times. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to claim portal gems from the good guys, the heroes, so that we can ascend out of the dungeons and into the real world
You are
above
ready to
ground,
recruit more
which never
creatures
happened.
to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge.
This is what he's talking about. So, to get creatures to help you, you need to get a portal most of the time.
Your
One
dungeon
portal,
heart
you
is
can have
full
up to
of gold.
15
No more than 16,000
creatures.
can it hold.
But for every other portal you get later on in the game, you add another 5 to that. There are other ways to get creatures, but this is the most common way. For, I would say, at least 80% of the missions, that's going to be your primary way of getting them. And all I'm doing now is having imps, which are just workers. We're having them dig things out so we can make
new
rooms.
creatures enter your domain, drawn forth to use the rooms which you provide.
But I wanted to be over here, thank you.
You've picked a creature up. Look well. A goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighter.
And he was all in shadow, so we got to basically not see him. That's perfect. Yeah, the goblin is the only creature we're going to see.
Place of rest
this mission anyway.
Sleep, to calm their tempers and restore their health.
And yes, we're building a lair first. A lair is just their bedroom.
Built. Now right-click to cancel building mode.
He will stop doing this, I promise. So yeah, so each square tile gives you space for a bed, so a creature can stay there. I've built a lair that's way bigger than necessary. We're not going to have 21 creatures in the first mission, I can guarantee it. And the other building we're going to build
goblins are rested,
is
but hungry.
a hatchery.
Dig out the flashing area and build a hatchery for food.
I'm going to dig that out because he asked, but I'm going to build a hatchery over here, honestly. And we're even going to cut this little gap through. So they have quicker access between bed and chicken. There you go. There's a nice hatchery.
Good progress, Keeper.
Every creature
See?
eats nothing but chicken.
Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken flesh.
You can
Keep
slap the
watch,
chicken.
But very
Oops.
soon, more goblins will arrive. And then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius.
Yeah. Chickens, you can pick them up. You can pick any creature up. You can pick imps up too. Zoom the camera back out because it makes me nauseous too zoomed in. So you can try and push imps to do what you want them to do. Otherwise, they kind of just idle around and do silly things. I'm going to give this chicken to this goblin so he can eat it. Delicious. What's your name anyway? Spoom. Terrible name.
I sense a breach. The servants of Antonius have broken through your walls.
And we can pick up creatures and drop them.
You can to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing blade.
And we are going to be beating up these dwarves. Dwarves are incredibly easy.
Who, feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins.
Dwarves are kind of the imps for the hero side.
Crushed. Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal shows.
Yes, like I said, he's doing a lot of tutorial-y activity in this mission, unsurprisingly. But yes, what I was going to say is that, yeah, dwarves are kind of like the imps for the good guys, the heroes. They are slightly different. They are slightly better in combat. They don't have beds. Imps don't either. You can't rest imps in a bed. They don't make they don't make homes. They're practically speaking, they're like the red blood cells of the dungeon heart.
Gem. Tunnel north, and you will find your smug opponent skulking in his keep.
Yes, thank you. Right now, we can't do anything with these dwarves. They're just going to die. So once they get down to one petal, they will become unconscious. If they stay on the ground for a little bit longer, they die, and they will drop whatever was in their wallets too, which is very helpful. Better than voiding the bowels, they void their pockets, thank goodness. So we have exactly what we need for this first mission done already. We have a big hatchery, we have a big lair, the goblins have nothing to do. Yes, as I was talking with goblins, I'm going to pick one up. When you drop a goblin, it gets up very quickly. This is significantly quicker than any other unit that's not an imp. Beyond that, though, they stink. Like, they have fast but very weak attacks, they have very little health, and they are very susceptible to fear. So if they see intimidating opponents, they are likely to run away. If they see certain traps later on, they are going to be terrified of them or die to them incredibly quickly. After the first few missions, we will hopefully not have to use goblins for anything.
The time has come for you to face Lord Antonius. Tag the flashing tiles. Your imps will tunnel to his keep.
We're not going to do that yet intentionally because I want to show this. So this weird box is not an item in Mario Kart where you might get a red shell. It's just a special. So in this case, it's going to increase all of our creatures by 1 level. Because as you will have seen, all of our goblins are level 1. They can get up to level 10, but right now they have no way to improve that level outside of beating up the dwarves. So that's what we can use, at least, to help them get to level 2. We're going to use it straight away.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Hi, Lord Antonius.
Keeper. You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways.
Think you're fine, I will. I'm going to drop them right next door.
The feeble Lord Antonius. See how the petals of his white health flower are of a special shape. This marks him down as your prime target. Take him out.
And he's done
Bravo,
for.
Keeper. Lord
Not
Antonius
difficult.
is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his helpless fall, in wait for Horny to collect it, so it's yours. And comes he now.
Yeah. And now, yes, the Horned Reaper, named Horny, is going to go and grab it, with some very strange music apparently too. I don't know. You may be able to tell from my physique I'm not a dancer. I have no rhythm. You must have had too much plastic surgery though, Horny. You can barely change facial expression. Too much silicon, bud.
devise new spells in the library. The training room lets creatures improve their combat skills.
So next mission we'll be able to use these. It always shows at the end of the mission what you've unlocked to use next time around. Let's hit space, because we're going to get the debriefing screen and a little cutscene, just like a fun, jokey aside.
Hot lips.
Yes, we can use them later. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well done, Keeper. You have successfully ended the life of Lord Antonius, and you have claimed your first portal gem as well. This is a most promising start.
A start indeed it is. So again, at the end of every mission you get a screen like this too. The score is completely irrelevant. It doesn't do anything. We got the only special on the map. I will not be going for all specials because a lot of them are just things like make your creatures happy, get 10,000 gold. Often you don't need them. I am going to get all the ones with the secret maps though. There are 5 secret maps in this game, and the 5th one I can guarantee we will not be getting because it's only available based on when like the moon crosses at a certain point. It's crazy. Like, we're not doing that. The other ones we'll try and get. So yeah, so we can see if the level was 1, which, I mean, I would hope so, it's the first mission. How long it took, all the standard stats you kind of expect. The one I usually just like to look at is the average creature level, which is what this creature training number is. So, on average, our creatures were 2.75. Probably mostly helped by the imps, but that's fine. So, it's going to be a short episode because, again, first mission super easy, but I want to do 1 video per mission. That does mean that some of these videos are going to get quite long towards the end, but them's the breaks. So hopefully you enjoyed a bit of nostalgia, or in this case maybe a looking into a side of gaming you may be too young to know even existed, as the case may be. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like the video if you did. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again for some more Dungeon Keeper 2. Bye now. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.